We're doing an auction, a live auction, ladies and gentlemen. And even if you're not bidding on anything, it's so worth it to watch the amazing pipes of Joe Bodnar. Give it up for Joe.
Hey, welcome to Bodnars, Bins, and Banter. I'm your host, Joe Bodnar.
Maureen Bodnar.
Danny Gonzalez.
Janet Wojcik.
Yes, we got all the names proper today. I didn't have to repeat the Bodnar. Thank you.
No, but we didn't say
Oh, and we have Zephyr Bodnar.
the meatball.
The meatball. The meatball is joining us. She's planted herself. It's our cat, by the way, on the sofa.
It's the mascot now.
Exactly. What a week, man. We had an auction last week. We got more Google reviews. That's something we've been trying to get. Oh my God.
Everybody these days.
Yeah, right. Here I downplayed him in episode 3, and then it came to bite us in the ass. And apparently, I guess I do need Google reviews, but I fucking hate them, you know?
It's a necessary
stupid.
evil. It's a necessary evil these days.
I just think it's stupid.
Yes, I agree. However, Janet, actually, it's been a group effort.
It's a group effort. It's when customers come to pick up the items.
Yep.
We make sure to jot down their name. After they get their items, they're happy. When they get home, they have an email from us asking to leave feedback. And everybody has been very positive.
Yes.
Which makes up for those people that are negative. And the negative people, it's just about shipping mostly.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, you know what I think, what's crazy is I think most people do not leave reviews. I don't even leave reviews for anybody. I really don't, But I think the difference has been that most people now, when they're coming up, we're making a conscious to go, hey, we're going to send you a link. Would you mind leaving us a good review? And they do it.
Yeah.
That's been one of the things that I think that's been also working as far as that's concerned, because there's no reason why we shouldn't have 1 million positive Google reviews. I wonder if any company has 1 million Google reviews.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either, right? I'm trying to think.
It's giving like 2.5 star energy. The middlest of middles.
Yeah, you know what's so stupid too about these reviews? We go in there and we got like 8 positives, which bumped us from like
16. We had 16 5-star reviews.
in the last 4 weeks.
And one
negative.
star from
Yeah.
a random consigner who his stuff sold really well. Everything was fine. I don't know if he thought he was leaving a you know what I mean?
don't know what he was thinking.
You know how sometimes older people are like 1 star is perfect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think that's what it was, to be quite honest with you.
Nothing. No.
He was so
Because
happy.
he was very happy
He was
with
happy.
the whole
He was
outcome.
fine. I
And he
think
left
he
us a
just
1 star.
thought
He just had
1 star was the best.
Like a boomer moment.
But so it took our rating and got one star and bumped it down, even though we had all these good ones.
Yes.
Bang! I'm like, this is too hard for me.
Google's like the new mafia.
They are.
They really are. They're like the mafia, man. You're like beholden to them, because they can fuck with you.
Well, that's valid, but I mean, they definitely have the power.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
they
what
have
I'm saying. They're the mafia.
Yeah, they're strong-arming everybody
They
into
are.
it.
Like,
They really are.
If you don't do everything they say exactly as they say it, your business will not rank.
Yeah, no, you got Tony Soprano sitting there on top with the stars, and Pussy is like, pushing the reviews. I don't know.
You brought that up just so you could say that word.
The word pussy?
Yes.
Yes, like the pussy cat. But at any rate, I mean, it's like, it really
Honest to
is.
God.
But it really is. It's so frigged up. It really is, because they do have the power to put you at the top of the list, or to put you on page 10 when people are searching. I always thought Google's going to take the yellow pages out, which they did. But you got to remember, the yellow pages was a whole nother scam. And the Better Business Bureau and all these things. I've been in business 32 years now. And I'm telling you, everything is, all these companies are geared to try to take as much money out of you, because most companies only stick around for a year, 2 years, 3 years. So you're thinking, well, I got to be here, I got to be there. You're dumping all this money. Because believe me, I used to be into the yellow pages for almost $3,000 a month years ago. Now Google is taking that, and we're almost at $2,500 a month in Google search word ads.
That's intense.
And the killer is, at least with the yellow pages, you kind of knew where you stood, because you would get that book and you were there for the year.
Google changes on a dime.
On a daily basis. If they don't like, if you get like a negative star, this is the SEO company was telling me, you get a couple of negatives. Well, now if you're in page 1, now you're dropping to page 3, regardless of whatever. You can't fight it.
Money interviews talk, and bullshit walks.
Yep.
I guess so, man. But it's a monopoly. It's another stinking monopoly.
It is.
I don't understand it, but
Those bastards.
we do have some.
They got us all yoked up.
Too. But we've been getting a lot of positive reviews.
Yes,
Which is nice because a lot of customers do leave very happy and
They
everything's
are
great.
happy.
And they usually just ride off into the sunset. It's the ones that are really mean. And I enjoy poking the bear with the mean ones, you know?
There's a lot of letter writers out
What?
there.
yeah.
Yeah. And, I just, there was this one guy and he was so mad. And I said, you know what, Maureen? You're not going to engage. You're not going to do this. So I just gave him a very matter-of-fact response, very nice, corporate. And I told him at the end, have a great day. And that angered him. That have a great day made him so angry. How dare you tell me to have a great day? And I was like, and so then I'm like,
And it begins.
And it begins. And I was like, I'm so sorry you feel that way. I genuinely meant it. Have a wonderful day. And you stop it. And it went on and on and on until all he emailed me back was, stop. And I was like, and Joe was like, knock it off. I was like, but the bear said, here's the stick. Poke me.
Poke me.
Here it is. And I just really enjoy it sometimes. If you read the reviews, you'll see my name come up a couple times.
Yeah, but it's so ridiculous. So, but it's been a positive note that we've been getting good reviews now, and most of the customers are happy. As a matter of fact, the last pickup, we had 3 or 4 people that were literally taking pictures of themselves carrying the stuff out.
Yeah.
I guess to post on social.
Well,
at first, I felt.
Joe, wrap it up. I'll wear it out.
Let me tell you something. At first, I was like, this one woman bought something. I forget. I don't remember what we sold. It was some kind of we sold antiques, I guess, last time. So it was some kind of vase or something. I'm watching the camera as she's walking out. She's photographing. I was like, oh, that's so sad. She's photographing herself so happy with this vase. And then and
Drop it.
No,
but then I looked
just
at
thought
him.
like maybe she was really lonely.
I looked at him.
You know what I'm saying? And this brought her so much joy, which
No.
was great, but I felt sad. But then you're like,
I chimed in. I said, no, we've had nothing but influencers all day coming
Buying
in.
stuff.
Just the style, the clothes. We had a chick who came in this thin, dressed to the nines.
Yeah.
Her skirt, her this. She's taking photos. She's doing this. I'm like, then you had the boho chic ones and the,
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Cash
like,
bohem.
those.
And I'm like, no, these are all influencers.
Right.
And so this is content for them,
which makes sense. I didn't know. I just felt bad.
It's fine
I was
by
like,
me.
oh.
Well, anywhere I feel like we're that much
Yeah,
visual
that's what I thought,
interest.
I get
Yeah.
it.
Even just generally, it's just a cool space.
Well, this is
Right.
what I keep trying to tell him, and I was talking to someone the other day. He said, "This is such an untapped market. They are filming themselves going to estate sales, going to antique stores, doing all these things. They are filming themselves, buying a home." And doing the DIY reno, and they're, now it's money. It's a source of income for them. Why shouldn't we get through to these people? By the way, come to auction because you're going to these stores, you're going to these places, you're paying. They're buying it from us for $50 and charging you $300.
Yeah, no, they can buy
Why?
it cheaper at the auction.
Come
Absolutely.
to the auction, enjoy yourself.
Cut out the middleman, so to speak.
Cut out the middleman. I mean,
Right.
we have a very strict policy of. Very rarely will we pop retail for anything.
I know. I just had to buy something. Retail was terrible.
What was it?
Our TV speakers.
Oh,
blew.
yeah, the speakers.
Oh my God! I can't believe. Can you believe? This is another scam.
Our sound bar
Another scam.
for the TV.
They sell you these beautiful TVs, right? With the shittiest components for sound. All these new flat
He's-
screen TVs.
he's-
I can't. I can't hear.
He's played too much loud music in his
I know, I'm a little
lifetime.
deaf. I'm a little
He's a
deaf.
little deaf.
You guys know that with the way
do.
I play music. In
So
the
he
back.
has to put it up louder.
I put it up louder.
So our TV and our sound bar with the subwoofer, we got out of a house clean out 12, 13 years ago.
12 years ago.
We used to, years and years ago, occasionally, Janet remember, we would buy out house contents.
Yep.
And he had all brand
good
new
old days.
electronics
He had
for
all
the time.
brand new shit. He had the best
Our
shit.
TV was like the very first smart TV.
Yeah, it was the first smart T ever.
Like, it wasn't-
He had a surround sound thing.
Yeah, so we...
Remember the boombox I used to bring to the auction? It was like
Yeah.
it was a bullet.
Yeah.
With the iPod.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that thing was loud as shit. It was better than a Boys.
I mean,
I don't know. He must have paid $2,000 for that stupid thing.
Great electronics. And so we were like, well, we're going to keep them because we bought the house contents.
Right.
So that's our TV. We had the sound bar over the weekend.
And it
finally died.
Yeah, it died, man. It keeps saying check subwoofer, check subwoofer. I'm like, what the hell?
So he puts the TV on thinking, I'm going to just be like, oh, it's,
Yeah, I didn't want to spend the money.
He didn't want to spend the money. And I was going to be like, oh, yeah, no, it's not that bad. He put it on and I went.
Yeah, she was like making faces. She's like, it can't happen, man. This
And I
ain't
was like,
working.
no,
This
this
doesn't
doesn't work for me.
It's horrible without the
No.
soundboard.
So I go to Amazon, I look, and I'm like, again, just confused. I'm looking at JBL, I'm looking at this, that, and they're anywhere from $100 to a couple thousand, So I'm like, whatever. I can't figure this out on Amazon. We're gonna have to go to Best
like,
Buy. I
let's
said,
go.
let's hop in the truck. Let's go to
the
Best
store.
Buy so I can really hear the shit. And fucking no shit. $850 later. Here, I got a new fucking... I know, right? Fucking nuts.
Sound like a fucking concert.
It does sound great, though,
It's
man. Dude,
amazing.
the bass speaker's like the bass speaker in my truck, all right? It's that loud,
It's crazy.
It's crazy,
okay.
but we needed it. What am I going to do?
Well, we get there. We said we need.
I don't wanna
wanna-
pay retail.
We said, look, we can't do wireless because our TV won't. And he was like, well, I want to upgrade the TV. We both in
No,
unison.
I don't want to
No.
upgrade no TV. No.
No.
And so we said we need it wired. And then he's going on about HDMI, this, that, da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, we have the HDMI ports. And then he mentioned, like, do you have this specific port? I'm like, no. No, my TV's 13 years old.
I need
no, I
a
don't have that
doctor's
thing.
degree in this shit,
So he
it's
was
a different
like,
language.
Technology.
So he brings us to the best of the best.
Yeah, he did bring us to the best of the best.
And
That's
he's
his
like,
job.
and now here's the screwed up part,
Fair.
because the bar's there and it says $4.99, and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
this
that's
is
not that
bullshit, too.
bad. I'm like, that's not that bad. And he's like, it has the optics cord, which I didn't even know what that was. I now know. I've set the whole thing up. And we're like, okay, $4.99, that's not too bad. I can do that. And he was like, okay, great. And the subwoofer is another $500.
Yeah. Can you believe that shit? I was like, get the
how
fuck
are
out.
they separate?
Oh, how is it separate? How does the bass speaker
How are
separate from the
they
soundboard?
separate? And then Joe was like, I've never bought a sound system where the subwoofer was separate. And I looked at him and I said, have we ever bought one before?
No, I
Except
guess
for
not.
out of the house. And he goes, I guess not.
No, I've only bought
Like-
speakers for the building, For the auction.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, if you get our credit card, you save $200 or
course you
$250
do.
or whatever the
So
heck
I
it
did
was.
it. I said, fuck
and we're
it, I'll
like,
do it.
$200 is nothing to sneeze at these days. So
That's a lot.
fine.
Valid.
Fine.
What was I going to do, though? You can't hear it otherwise. It's so stupid.
Oh, it was awful.
And it did make a big difference.
He said it was really
I know when it comes to
was.
sound electronics and things like that, I've skimped at the auction for certain products and I bought the best. The best makes a big difference. Like
Yeah. He used to put the best in the main sale in his room. Do you remember the speakers the poor jewelry room had?
We would
Them dinky
suffer.
little
Those teeny
things.
little speakers.
And then if I had to go back and listen to the audio for something at the auction,
we were second class.
I'm very
Wait a
sorry,
second.
Christian. You might want to take off your headphones because it was like it's all you heard with them talking at the same time, and it was so horrible.
you're
my
talking inside
father's
of a
the one who
potato
would
chip
decide
bag.
what speakers went in what room, so you can't blame me.
Oh no,
Blame my
you're
father.
full of baloney. No way.
All
No way.
He set up the speakers, not me.
No, you
You're right.
told
Now,
him.
now I'm thinking. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? There was those dinky little ones.
Those dinky little speakers.
ones. Yeah, well, I don't know. Yet Hall D had the $2,000 set.
Yes.
They were like the ones I have in the building right now. I think they're like 800 watts. I mean, I've never really cranked it all. I don't think you've ever been in a building where I've cranked it all the way. Have you?
I enjoy my eardrums.
Yeah,
so,
no.
so no.
Saturday
I've
when
been
I was
there.
walking
Yeah.
back to work, he had it cranked all the way
could hear it
up.
up here at
I
the
could
house.
hear
Really?
it as soon as I walked out the back
I
door. I
believe
could
it.
hear it.
I only had one other set that was better. I had one set that was
Yeah,
better. We had a
no.
pair of concert ones, and I never even used them. We bought them at the auction as a backup, but I never used it. And then we sold it when we sold all our supplies. Remember the
Okay.
big speakers, the crate ones?
Oh yeah.
They were probably they were like stadium fuckers. They would have been great, But you know what
I
my
don't trust you with a stadium speaker. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
you know what it is? I think I just grow. I love music so much that from the first van I had on, I've always had a system. You know what I'm saying? My first van when I was 20 years old, I had the brown van which is actually dying a slow death in Alan's driveway, unless he got rid of it. I don't think he's gotten rid of it, though, because I sold it to him. But at any rate, it's probably totally like... Anyway.
We'll have to go by there.
Yeah, let's go by there and take a look at my old van there, because he bought my old van for me. But at any rate, I had a pair of 12-inch subwoofers and a Pioneer system in there with 2 amps, 3 amps, and then then I upgraded to like neon lights and a disco ball, kind of deal. And you heard me. My father would tell you heard me 2 streets over when I was coming home. It was that loud. So I just like
it's giving
sound.
Like creepy guy that would.
But it's also giving like
the girl.
Dominican by association, like Dominican by association. Like you could hear the car parts rumbling.
Yes.
Like the.
Yeah, well, that's no good. See, you heard the bass. What you're talking about, shitty system. You shouldn't hear it rattle like that. You should hear the oof. I'm just saying.
I'm just seeing Joe like jamming to jock jams.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, jock jams. Exactly.
Which one? Jock Jams 5?
I don't know, but yes,
6?
this is 1992, 93. So you're talking jock jams. You're talking
the boosh.
Yeah, the boosh. Exactly.
You're talking like KTU energy.
Yes. That's fucking great.
Where do you go?
Yes.
Go.
Snap. Stuff like
What
that.
I love about Danny is that all of this is stored in there somehow.
Yeah, but ask me what I ate. Ask me what appointments I have coming up. Ask me like things I actually have to do in life.
No.
So yes,
but it's all right there.
I had those moments. Then I found weed, right? And once I found weed, then we went to Pink Floyd, the Beatles,
Dead.
I never got into Grateful Dead. You know why? I think because Jeff loves Grateful Dead so much, so I hate Grateful Dead because of that. I don't know why, but it's so true. I
hate by proxy.
Every time I on my XM, I get to the Grateful Dead station, and he says, "That's a great song." I go, "Boop," and I change the channel.
He does that to me, though.
Do it all the time.
He does that to me.
know.
Like, I have a love of Bob Marley.
Bob
Marley. I grew up with it.
Right.
My I don't want to call her babysitter. Like, she was so much more than that. She ran a daycare out of her house. Big hippie vegetarian, co-op vegetable garden person.
The kids come home smelling of patchouli and sandalwood.
Yes, and the incense, the sandalwood incense. And she loved reggae, Bob Marley, all of that. Not just for the music, but for the political statement. And so I grew up with that. So every time it comes on, I'm like, good song. And he immediately changes it.
I can't take it.
Music is so...
I like it. I don't know.
Music is so important to him. And do you remember the employee that would sneak over and turn down the volume when we were in the convention center on your sound system?
Oh, yeah.
Was that Nick?
Yeah.
It was Nick.
I don't know. Whoever did it, I would get really mad. I can tell you that.
You would
I
get
go ballistic.
so mad.
If someone changed my music or turned it down, I would get so angry.
Before
He still gets very angry, guys, about anybody touching his music.
Well, this is true, but my iPod was very thoughtful. Now I know
it was a good mix.
I know you're getting used to the same iPod, but I do have 3 different iPods, and I would change it up more.
At the time, it was current music.
Yes,
of course.
So you know what happened? I literally downloaded over 500,000 songs onto a hard drive on my computer. And I lost that computer at my ex's when I got divorced. And I was able to take, I think so. I lost the hard drive that I can't go into iTunes anymore and change it all up. Do you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Okay.
So I literally burned every CD into my iPod. That's how I ended up getting it, because it was all the estates that we did. I used to take a CD. If we picked up a collection of CDs, I'd take 200 of them and download them all before the sale, so I'd have all the music and then sell the music.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's what I was doing. So what?
When would you sell those CDs?
I didn't sell those CDs. I do have them. You're right. Oh yeah, I do have. No. Wait. Let's back up. I do have a lot of CDs, meaning probably 2,000 CDs in the back. Yeah, I got 2,000 CDs. Good music though. Good music.
I'm sure it's great.
But then we would get collections of unique shit, and I started downloading all that, and then I would sell it. So there's things on there that I don't have hard copies of. I was going to say,
there is a CD, because I'm sure, because their music's not digital, I've looked, of this band that was small. They were big in the New Brunswick scene, though, in the 90s, maybe early 2000s or so. And I can't find it anywhere. It's called Matt Whitty and the New Blood Revival. So if anybody out there has that CD, send it to me because I used to have it and somehow I lost it. And I love their music. They did get signed and then the band broke up after that. But the music's not digital anywhere. I can't find it anywhere. So if anybody has
It exists somewhere. It's
does.
in some dark corner of the internet.
So like my playlist is bizarre sometimes because I was trying to accommodate 26 employees and their different tastes. So you'll see sometimes I'm playing Metallica and then the next song is like some 80s fucking love song and then it goes.
Some of the mixes are great, but sometimes,
Right. That's okay. Well,
I'm just super glad.
I'm trying.
I'm super glad that he stopped playing Dave Matthews in the cars.
Well, I was into Dave Matthews for a long
you're
time.
still into Dave Matthews a lot
You
because
are.
that's one of the things that actually makes me want to die when I'm at work and it's Dave Matthews all day long.
I can't stand Dave
Matthews. Like literally.
But Dave Matthews is good. I understand what you're saying. But the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I was on a kick too. I would like the Red Hot Chili
I'll take the Red Hot Chili Peppers over.
I like
Dave
Red Hot
fucking
Chili
Matthews.
They were
I
good.
just need something different.
Okay. Well,
I'm in a Dawson's Creek nightmare.
well,
trying
this
to
is where
catalog jewelry.
This is where the Alexa comes in a little bit because we can play different stuff.
But girlfriend has been in such a fucking mood that
has been in a
she's
mood.
like
She won't
working
listen.
sometimes and
I
not
need
the
to
others.
so he's paying for the music, which is crazy because I have the account and I have it up here. Why don't I just put that on the thing?
I don't know. I don't
Like,
even
why
know.
are you
'Cause how do
paying
you
for
how
it?
do you unsubscribe to these
Download
things?
Rocket today.
Yeah, right.
What
Exactly.
subscriptions you're paying for?
No, they do make it that you can't unsubscribe from these fuckers. You know.
Well, that's
Yeah, you
why you
can.
have to subscribe to a new app
Well,
to help
you
you
can.
unsubscribe to other
get
apps.
out of the
I
other
guess
ones.
so. No, you can't. It's not that simple. Maybe it is that simple.
is that simple.
But not for a middle-aged man like myself. I can't figure it out.
Well, there you go.
I can't do it. I don't
There
know.
it is. But it is that simple.
Nah.
But no, I need like when everybody leaves and I stay back there and work, the first thing that happens is that music changes.
Right. Well, now
Or
I'm
if
very...
Joe's out for the whole day. Like I'm just like, Alexa.
Yeah, there's days where we like, it's just random different music happening constantly. Like we had a PM Dawn fest one day.
PM Dawn.
We had. Yeah.
Who's PM Dawn? Oh, it's great. Fantastic.
father.
Ah,
His father.
got it. That's some fucking great shit. I'll tell you. I don't remember. PM Dawn. You guys actually played it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you weren't there that day.
Oh, I was going to say. I missed it, Christian. I apologize. Go ahead.
We did because I was like, because everybody
Insert foot
like,
into mouth.
I'm not gonna lie, like how
Totally fine, Joe. You're good.
how you can pull out like names of bands and all this off the top of your head. I'm not great with that. So when he said PM Dawn, I was like, familiar. And then as soon as I hit the Goog, and I was like, oh, I was like, oh my God,
Goog?
these are all Google.
Oh.
The Goog.
The Goog.
The
Wow.
Goog.
I'm really middle-aged. Anyway, go ahead.
You're starting to boom, Joe. Joe, you're starting to boom.
Okay, boomer.
Yes.
I'm like, the songs are coming on, and I'm like, oh my God, this is my teen years. This is, you know what I mean? Like, I remember all of this. So then one day I just put it on, and Erica was like, man, I haven't heard this stuff in forever. And I was like, yeah, you know whose dad this is? And she said, no. I said, Christian's. She was like, get the hell out of here.
Right.
We
Cool
had a
kid
little
over
PM
there.
Dawn day. I think it might have just been me and Erica back there that day. But yeah, no, we definitely are. It's like a very random, eclectic.
The
Oh,
last time you
yeah.
guys were out, Danny was DJing for us. Fabulous.
Really?
Fabulous
DJing today,
mix
too.
of music. Oh, yeah, you are.
But I do have a soft spot for electronics and music and all that stuff. I mean, I think one of the coolest sales that we ever did, we did a DJ who went out of business, and we took all his equipment and I set the whole thing up, and we had
much fun.
20 by 20 by 20 light show with like 55, 60 cans and then speakers up the wazoo, and we set it all up and we were playing it. It was so freaking loud, right?
I wasn't there.
Oh,
That
you
was
weren't there.
before my time.
That was before your time, huh?
God, the
It
park
was
cans.
loud.
It was loud, man. When I say loud, it was like going to the Rock loud, going inside the Prudential. It was loud. And it was a light
had
show. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It what?
We did have a video of
I
it.
said you had it all the way up.
I had an old lamp. What? See, I'm
And
deaf. I'm
you-
deaf from that
You're
speaker.
deaf from the speaker. I said
This
you
is
turned the
why.
music all the way up.
I did turn music all the way. Even when we sold it that day in the building,
was
right?
going.
We sold it in the building, and I'm like, there's 3 other auction rings going on, and I go, the fucking thing goes, whoa! And everybody's like, holy smokes. Right? I did.
Didn't
You
we,
weren't
we
there.
had a
I'm sorry.
video of that somewhere.
Yeah, there's a
though.
video
I
of that.
remember
There's a video.
seeing it. See, yeah, exactly.
We put it all together. I think I bought the shit and then I sold, because very rarely did I buy stuff, but I believe I bought it for like $2,000 and I think I sold it for $2,000 after all that. I think the Egyptians bought it from us is what
I think
happened.
so.
Yeah, they ended up buying it.
Buyer one.
Buyer number one. I think I ended up breaking even, but it was just fun handling the whole thing. I don't know. All right. After this message, we'll be right back. Hey, Joe Bodnar of Bodnars Auctions, letting you know our next regular scheduled sale is a special sale Tuesday of next week. This is July 15th, featuring the 600 lots. We might get there, you never know. 600 lots of fine jewelry. You got fine jewelry, gold jewelry, silver jewelry. You got costume jewelry. You got all kinds of jewelry spanning 100 years. There's definitely something you want and you'll wear and you'll be complimented on. Make sure you check it out. BodnarsAuction.com. Tuesday, July 15th. Check it out live, 11 a.m. Now, back to the show. So, next week is our great, special, fantastic, wonderful, outstanding, long-awaited jewelry auction.
Yes.
That's
Did you get all that?
That
Did you get all that?
needed a drum roll.
Right?
Yes. Jewelry auction.
Wow, I feel like does it gonna live up to the hype now?
It's definitely going to live up to that.
It will.
This sale is going to be over 500 lots.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yes.
Maureen, is that
All
the first
broken
time
up,
you're hearing
identified,
this?
and
Oh.
cataloged by yours truly.
That's right.
Yes.
That's
job.
right.
Thank you.
Sorted, catalog.
We are
Yes.
in mile marker month number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was genuinely this last collection, this last consigner. I think they were most likely a dealer at some point, but probably a dealer, I'm thinking in the 90s, late 80s, 90s, somewhere in there, because the caliber of some of the pieces, it's just things that you would have seen, a few decades ago would have been the regular, the norm. A lot of 40s. There's some great 19th century, some great Deco. There's some really wonderful 20s, turn of the century. It kind of runs the gamut, but
The fur pins. Fur clips.
the fur pins, the fur clips, great early Trifari. We're seeing great early Corocraft.
Yeah.
Things that if you look up online, they're listed at, in the hundreds of dollars. And this is for costume. Even though most of it is sterling and, a gold for May finish. But
I think, though, what's nice about this sale, it's literally something for everyone in this sale.
Genuinely.
Yeah, because you got, it's spanning 100 years. You got gold, silver, and costume. And it's just a little bit of everything.
Such a variety.
It's a variety. Exactly. I think it's it's such a variety. I don't remember what's there because it's been so long since I saw the beginning of the catalog.
It's an overwhelming amount of things. You name it, there's some of that in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's everything from QVC jewelry in this sale because I believe that's what we started with. We started with QVC because we were finishing up.
Joan Boyce, QVC.
We were finishing up the one estate where the woman dropped off. And then mailed us what was left, from the Newark estate, and that was down the shore originally when we sold off her other stuff like 2 years ago. It's been a long process, and it it starts with QVC, then goes into more like newer diamonds and things of that. And there's even loose stones in this sale.
There are loose stones. There's loose diamonds. There's they're most likely pulled from established pieces in the past, but we've got some beautiful. There's a beautiful like cushion cut old mine, old European cut rather. That's just gorgeous. High pavilion. It's stunning. Some great sapphires, rubies.
The nice part of it is looking at it in the beginning. It looked like it might be a normal sale, 300 lots, but every time Danny picked up a piece, it was just wow. This has to go by itself. And that's how we got to 500.
Absolutely.
So quickly.
The way it was packed up initially, it was looked like just a tub of, this is going to be box lots, or it's going to be lots.
Yes, but as I was unpacking, keep in mind, everything was bagged.
Yeah.
It really looks like somebody had I mean, I don't know if they must have like either moved quickly or they decided to like get out of a space that they were renting or something.
I don't know if it was dealer stock. I think because what else came out of that
Everything was priced though.
Well, maybe, but I don't know because we sold their Christmas and decor and everything back in November or December, and this was 2 tubs of stuff that came with that. In that sale we had like a little paper mache pumpkin guy bring $4,000.
Oh, that was the same.
Same house. Yeah, same exact.
I mean, I'm not surprised. There's some really great stuff in there.
I had a good eye.
It was just very dirty.
They had really nice. There's a large collection of stick pins or hat pins, right? It's wondered. Yeah, what is
that's a different consigner,
right?
But there's some great hat pins. I would say anywhere from probably the 1870s all the way up into the turn of the century, early 20th century.
Love that.
Which you can always tell by the finial on top and the length of it. But
well, what's
really
funny?
beautiful.
Both those collections were featured November, December, and I held the jewelry for this sale. So both those estate collections. One was an estate of a 90-year-old dealer from Jersey City or Little New York, West New York, right? It was West New York.
West New York.
Yeah, and she had an antique store there. So that's where the costume, the stick pins came from. And then the other one was the other one. They had the same kind of feel.
They did have the same kind of feel. A very eclectic mix, but a quality mix.
Right.
And that is one issue I have come up with almost daily when working on the collection. There was a general rough sort done, and then coming back, most of that rough sort where it just looks like a standard. Oh wow, that's not that bad. There's maybe 50 lots sitting on this table. No, there's probably about 200 to 250 lots sitting on that table because it's you constantly have to break things up, group things up differently. You don't want to put too many things in one group that are a high value. Trying to and so I'm trying to be as concise as possible, but there's an ebb and a flow to the catalog because there has to be.
Oh, there's always an ebb and flow.
Yeah, I'll work hard to try to get, say, all this pearl jewelry in. I move one tray or I'm going through something and there's another stack of pearls, or there's another stack of possibly real gold jewelry that still needs to be tested. There's another pile of 19th century. So it seems, I definitely see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak.
Yeah.
But,
I got 2 more tubs to give you. I didn't tell you yet.
No.
I'm joking.
But yeah,
I'm going to take it to 750 lots. What do you think?
No.
Divorce. No.
How long do you think a 500 lot jewelry sale will take us?
Honestly, I think it's going to be more like 550.
Oi. That's okay. We made a deal.
We made a deal.
What's
the deal?
We made a deal. We bumped. So after this sale, we are leaving on vacation with our children.
That's right.
So, but normally we have pickups Friday, Saturday, Monday. I'm not going to be here. I'm leaving Sunday. So we bumped the sale to Tuesday.
Yeah, we moved the sale to a Tuesday.
And Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This man is my bitch.
Well, that's what you said. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
okay,
the deal. That's not what I said.
Do I get to wear? Do I get to wear a black Catwoman suit? And you put a chain around me?
Why?
Because then maybe you won't want me back there, and then
why do we have to do this?
Because that can get me out. That can get me out of helping.
If you're in a gimp, if you want to be a gimp,
but I want my face unrestricted.
Christian's hiding behind the curtain. Christian has now turned into the Wizard of Oz.
Oh my goodness!
And somehow he ended up on
behind the
BDSM.
curtain. No. He will do whatever I say. Pull this invoice.
Because
ship this.
I'm her
do that.
Bitch.
Do this.
Am I
do
working there those
Submit,
days?
Joe.
I want to watch.
Submit.
There's no sitting
I'm going to come in
and
with
relaxing.
a collar for sure. Get me a collar. I got to go get a collar.
No.
Why not? I can't wait now till after the sale. I'm definitely getting something. We can get a picture of this. Anyway.
What a muzzle.
A ball gag.
I know.
Oh, you don't want the ball gag.
No.
Yeah, you're fine with the collar.
Yeah, I'm cool with everything else and the trap door in the back, but no, I don't want no ball gag. No. What?
The trap door in the back killed
Why? Does that
me,
mean
bro.
something more than I'm thinking? I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm thinking of the. Anyway, yes.
He's my bitch. Joe's getting pegged on vacation. Goddammit.
Whatever. No. So you guys.
Why?
You mean
Why?
why you guys like?
How's the
messing with
view
me?
from the bottom of that hole you're digging?
We're here to talk about jewelry.
Yeah. So erotic jewelry. Yes. Let's
No.
go. Statement pieces. Go ahead.
So he is supposed to do everything I tell him to do, because otherwise it's not getting done.
See, this is why I went there.
What?
I don't know. Just that statement makes it like I'm going to do everything that you say I'm going to do. And I'm going to shut up now. Okay. So it's absolutely beautiful jewelry.
It's great jewelry. I think everyone will be happy with my descriptions. They're short but concise. I did my best to really try to identify everything as clearly as possible. Some pieces are rather ambiguous, which is part of the territory. But I think it's going to be a great catalog. Well, it is a great catalog.
It is a great catalog.
And I've been receiving some wonderful, very kind feedback from all of you.
Yeah.
So I'm appreciative of it.
Yeah, no.
You deserve it.
We will have feedback
that's cool.
from the buyers when they bid.
Yeah. And honestly, I love working with any collection because at the end of the day, in all of our fields, with all of our specialties, when you get to, just focus on your specialty, it's the experience just speaks so much more loudly, having that hands-on experience than necessarily learning it from a screen or learning it, in a classroom. But I'm just grateful for the experience, and it's been super fun. I love playing with pretty things all day.
Right.
Nice. Your catalogs are written with passion.
Oh,
Girl
there
does
you
what she
have it.
can.
Well, it's absolutely true. I mean, Janet and I had this conversation with Danny the other day when he left to go to school. I was like, super proud of you, super happy. And then I looked at this stuff and went, now what?
Now what do we do?
Because when I can do a jewelry catalog, but you get 14 karat, blah, 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 stones. Unless I know for sure, emerald, ruby, sapphire, those I can identify, diamonds I can identify. After that, my knowledge is nil. Maybe amethyst, After that, Janet and I, green stones, red stones, blah, blah, like blue
Beautiful
stones.
sterling ring with a red stone.
Yeah, that's what you got. No cut,
That
no
was
style, no nothing. You got, this is
Nothing.
a stone.
You got
That's
the
what you got.
basics.
What I love about the process, and I think that might be where the passion comes from, just generally with, arts, antiques, textiles, whatever. It is a bit of a detective, it's a bit of a detective case. You're looking at a piece and you're like, okay, stylistically, what period do you think this is generally from? Cool. Blah, 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 blah. Now let's search for marks. Let's search for makers. What materials are being used? Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? And you just kind of slowly tick off,
Yep.
Until you have a really solid general sense. Granted, there's always going to be things that you're like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yes.
I probably
always.
don't have, I don't have the time, to spend 3 hours looking this up.
Yep.
Unless the piece is unless the quality of the piece warrants that type of attention. But there's some really cool stuff. I love it.
There's really cool stuff in this.
And I love figuring stuff out. You really, you're discovering little bits of the past that, would otherwise have just gone.
Oh, for sure.
forgotten.
For sure. This is why I see people when they take it with them, they're selfish. Leave it for the next person.
Right. Well, I think what's nice too is we all sorted that deal. Like we all see different value in different things that was there. I mean, you did the rough sort, then you went through it. I went through it. You looked at it.
I just oohed and awed over it. I didn't really sort anything. I just went, that's so pretty.
So I like all the vintage Coro pieces and Trifari and things like that.
Yeah, all those
Great.
vintage pins.
And to have so many of them in a collection is impressive.
And the size and the variety is insane.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
The size of some of these sterling fur clips are the reason I get so excited about seeing some of this stuff is because, as you know, being in the industry, a lot of this stuff, like I had said earlier, is it's been phased out generationally.
Yeah.
So a lot of these pieces aren't things that you're normally going to be able to see at a thrift store or even at an antique shop.
Right.
Because they're already in the hands of collectors.
Yep.
Right, right.
The 80s, 90s was a great time to be buying 40s.
Yep.
50s. Anything mid-century and before.
Yep.
Just like today, you know what I mean? It's a great time to be buying. What's hot now? 90s.
Yeah.
Right.
Mid-century is still hot. But then
Right.
you're also seeing an 80s come back, the 70s. So now is a nice, interesting mix, but you're going to be seeing a lot of cool quality pieces that you don't normally get to see on the market.
And I agree with exactly what you said. I just had this conversation last night. I did a house call last night in Freehold, and it was an old Victorian home. Not even Victorian, but it doesn't matter. Older home. But she went into assisted living, and she's 92, and the kids had me come. Not kids, they were in their 60s themselves, but or 70s. But at any rate, as I walked around, I was like, God, this brings me back to house calls I ran 15 years ago, 20 years ago, where this is what we sold all day long. Like you're saying, you don't see this, like what you're talking about. 15 years ago at the building at the Ukrainian Center, we sold jewelry like that constant.
All the time.
Showcase after showcase after showcase. Maybe not as much quality, but quantity-wise of the 50s,
Yeah.
we sold that much.
Stylistically
There was a lot.
speaking,
Probably that quality, too. We had decent stuff
We
back
did.
then. You know,
Back then, it was easier to come by.
It was.
back then, literally, it was like we went from like 10 showcases of jewelry to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60
To a room.
to a room.
To a whole room.
You
The
went to a
jewelry room. We
yeah.
love that room.
I missed the jewelry.
We were away from you.
You would have loved the
And we
jewelry.
used
I know I would have loved it in
You
there.
would have loved it.
Because
We
it
had
wasn't
so much fun.
It wasn't just jewelry; it was clothing. So it was
It
textiles.
was also,
yeah.
Danny, the
Handheld
room,
items,
Yeah.
accessories.
The room used to be like a museum for their artifacts and stuff. So there were built-in showcases in the wall, so you can hang clothes and
Yeah, we
display
displayed.
hats. Oh, we had the best time with those display
Go
cabinets.
jump off a cliff.
You would have adored that room.
And that room, well, you know, back then the jewelry room did really good because there was a lot of $10 pools. So they would go to a showcase, and actually, I think you used to pull them out and put them in the front showcase to $10
Yeah.
pools, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that how it works?
Julie
Yep.
Fine.
But once again, the beauty of smalls,
Right.
the beauty of jewelry. You know,
Yeah,
people
no.
are always willing to pick up a little something.
And
Yep.
there used to be like 100 people crammed in this little room
Yes,
bidding
it
on
was.
shit. You know?
Oh, and me and Mama Jill had so much fun.
Oh, Mama Jill.
Yeah, no.
I
of
wish I
fun.
would have been around then.
It was quite interesting.
We used to get yelled at because we were not paying any attention. We were just too busy having a good time.
But
Hey,
yeah,
I
no,
hear ya.
had fun.
I remember I at that time owned, maybe not, yeah, I guess even then, I owned probably 80 showcases, like tabletop showcases.
Oh God, remember?
And we would always be
putting them
looking
away?
for more.
Hear those latches now.
Right, we would always be looking for
Yes.
more. We didn't have enough
Looking
showcases.
for more, and then at the end of the night,
Oh, Janet.
getting them in that little closet up on the shelf without them falling
Yeah.
We
and
used to
killing you.
stack them up at the end of the
Me,
night.
Janet,
All the way to the
me,
ceiling.
Janet, Nick, and like whoever else was working in the jewelry room.
Right.
Oh my God, it was dangerous.
To be honest, I thought I might have had 100 of them. I had I think I
had
bought
it.
200 out of them. A jewelry store went out of business. I bought 200 of them for like $2 a piece or something like that.
Wow,
It was
that's
cheap.
good. That's a good deal.
It was a good deal, and I sold off like a half of them and kept the other half. And I always wish I never sold the other half, but I would have had to store them. They were heavy. They took up a lot of space, but they definitely made things look a lot better.
It was
that's what made
so
it sell.
impressive.
Yeah, we would have you walk down the tables, all these showcases of jewelry, and you would just people would pick out 10 and go, 10 and go, 10 and go, 10 and go.
You know what added to it when Monica made the velvet
Yeah.
And we
inserts? Like she
re-velveted
did
those.
plaid
she did
inserts.
plaid ones.
She did fabulous inserts. So
Right.
you would
Seasonal.
set up the jewelry based on the color. It was just like some of the jewelry just popped.
It did
on her pads.
Oh,
that
it
she made.
absolutely did. It just.
I remember
made
when
it
you
like-
guys did that. Yeah.
Yep. Like you need to take me home with you. Buy me. Buy me.
Once again, the beauty of jewelry.
Yeah.
It's transformative within itself.
It
Right.
is.
It's you're working with a great statement piece usually, or whether how big or small it is, you're just working with a great individual piece that only serves to amplify,
yeah.
whatever you're wearing with. So I
That's
think that's
it.
kind of the beauty of it.
That's
and
it.
trends come and go, but I think you can always embrace a trend, but the way you make it yours is through accessorizing.
Right.
And that's where you get the real unique quality. And I think that's the wonderful part of vintage and antique jewelry.
Well, that's it. And some things are just timeless. They just never go out of style. It doesn't
Exactly.
And I gotta be honest, I follow almost all the auctions in the tri-state area. I haven't seen a jewelry collection like this in a long time. I mean, even come up costume jewelry wise.
I've worked on a lot of jewelry collections here and other locations, and I will say this collection, it was one of the most challenging that I've worked on, but also one of the most fascinating and fulfilling at the end of the day.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I still will hit a hiccup every now and then,
Yeah.
when I'm working through some of these things, but just the amount and the caliber of a lot of the pieces it's
Right.
a
Yeah.
blast.
No.
No, it should be interesting. I'm really curious to see
Something
where
we
this is
haven't
gonna
seen
go.
in a long time.
Yeah,
It's
no,
gonna
it
be
isn't.
fun.
We're gonna see. I'm telling you, like some of this stuff is gonna smoke. A lot of that, like I said earlier, a lot of the Trifari, early Sterling stuff. Wow, like
Yeah.
even just like generally listed online, it's just like I'd be holding a piece and I'd be like, really? Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
what? And things personally I've never seen before. I've only seen through, when I'm educating myself or when I'm searching online or going through this and that. Some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff.
You know, it was crazy back in the day when we had those showcase lots. We would always be hoping the Egyptians showed up because they wouldn't do the $10 pools. But when we would do $10 pools, and once you did all those, you would sell the rest of the showcase contents. Them showcases used to bring 100 to 400 a lot. Remember?
Yes.
It was
After the
fucking
polls.
nuts. It would be like 100, 300,
just
3 1/4,
came in.
350, and they'd buy every showcase.
Every showcase, and people were so mad.
They get so mad.
So mad.
Oh, they did. They should not be allowed to come here. They're spending money just like you,
Yeah.
but they would buy every lot, and obviously they were making money with it. They were sending it to
Didn't
their
they have
stores.
Thrift stores, weren't they like an early type of unique thrift store?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was like some type of collective.
They owned it was called Uniques actually.
Yeah,
or
it was
something
called
like-
Unique.
It was called Uniques, but it was in New York City. They had 3 stores in New York City.
Yeah.
I think Unique is in New York too.
Yeah.
So
They
it
had
was Unique?
Brooklyn, Manhattan,
Like the
and
Unique
Queens.
Like
Yeah.
the one we all know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was before their prices were through the roof.
They
Their
bought a
prices are
lot.
high. Actually, this is from Unique.
Okay.
This great vintage number. But I love them. Their prices are ridiculous sometimes. Though.
Right. Well, yeah, they used to come in and buy
Just
and buy.
they brought a crew of people just to take their purchases
Yep.
out of the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they would just buy, move on to the next table while their people picked up their
Packing.
stuff and
Yep.
packed it.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a goal in life.
And then we'd have to deliver to them.
And they wouldn't buy
After
too
sale.
much, like one at a time. They were smart. They just bought
Bulk.
group lots. Yep.
Bulk.
Table lots, group lots, big lots.
Yeah, they weren't good for the main sale.
No.
A little bit of furniture,
Right.
but yeah, big bulk lots. Then we'd have to go into the city the following Monday and deliver to them, which was always a good time.
You know, it's crazy. Of all the space, they always needed like a corner. It was even hard to give them a corner to pack. Remember when they would show up, we'd be like, where are we going to have them pack so they weren't in the way? Oh, my God. That used
Didn't
to be
we
a
give
whole
them
thing.
in the Ukrainian Center? We gave them a classroom.
We gave them a classroom after a while.
This was
Yeah.
your classroom. Put your purchases in there.
That is how it was.
Wow.
The classroom. Fucking
classroom.
stupid. Oh my God. Yeah, so the only reason I say stupid, so we would have so many box lots at that point, right? We would fill the entire building.
Tops and bottoms.
Tops and bottoms of the floor.
It sounds like a good time.
Like
Absolutely.
I don't even know how many tables. I'm going to say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 30, 60, 80, probably 200 tables worth of box lots. And then at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we would start bringing in more stuff from the classrooms because we had it piled in there. So nobody even knew what was coming. It was like a second round of shit. And we would wheel it in and put it all out, and people had no idea. So
Notice the
they
theme
stuck
with this
around,
man.
man.
Are we noticing a theme?
What's that? A black leather suit?
No.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman. Anyway,
No. He always has to push the limits.
push the limits. Yes.
He's doing it right now. You notice that every catalog now is over 300, 350. It's creeping up. It's creeping up. It's creeping up.
I know it when I'm a runner on those cement floors all day. I know that. Yes.
Yeah, but you know what? The way we ran those sales, this is tough. This is a hard call. It's a hard call to say. Did it get sold down the river at the end of the night? Even though I told people it was going to get sold down the river, or did it add to the excitement and the allure of all those people coming and congregating and looking and wanting to buy until 2 a.m? You know, so it's a tough call.
No, it's not a tough call for me.
Heard.
I look at stuff like that in numbers,
To an extent, yes.
No.
Yes.
Numbers.
Yes. No. Yes.
Every lot
Yes.
has to
No.
make X amount
No.
of money.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Yes.
we don't make money.
Yes. Well, I agree with that as we currently stand right now. Yes.
But it's always been that way.
Maybe. It's possible. It really depends.
I can't stand this man
we just
today.
need a bigger building and more staff, and then we can sell more. It's like hoarding. I was hoarding box lots back in the building.
I'm really reconsidering this divorce word.
Oh my goodness! Wow, you're on, man. Wow.
Jiminy Cricket.
My.
I've been abused on this episode. I don't know.
It's okay. You like it. It's fine.
Well, that's because you abuse us the rest of the
I
time.
never abuse anybody. Do I abuse you people? No.
Janet is so lying.
No, Christian knows I never abused him. He loves me. See?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I have a specific service bell that I have to respond to.
Yes. Well,
So I mean, we'll let people decide for themselves.
well, the certain well. It's not. But it's in the form of a turtle, and it's Victorian, and it's very suiting.
It's
and
not
nice.
Victorian.
And listen, yeah,
It's not Victorian.
It helped you. Oh, it's not Victorian, but it's from the Victorian period.
It's
style. It's a style.
It's Victorian revival.
There you go. Victorian, right? Boy, everybody's against me today.
Nobody's against you.
You're all against me. Everyone's against me. I don't like this anymore. I quit. At any rate, the bell. Well, it made a point. I wasn't trying to upset you. I was trying to make a point that you were stuck on your phone that day and you weren't paying attention. So I hit the bell and it worked.
Stuck on my phone.
Yeah, that day you were like really into your phone.
When? What day was it?
Exactly.
Don't
was true.
Don't gaslight me, bitch.
No, but there was something.
Don't gaslight me, bitch. No, that ass.
No, that was what the key was. Because you were on your phone.
I think he was
day.
researching.
Good save.
No, you don't believe me? I'll pull up my Google right now.
I'm talking about fucking all the way in the beginning.
In the beginning.
Yeah, this is going back a year ago when the bell came into play. That's all.
But what was it? Was it an auction day?
No, we were cataloging. It doesn't matter. Boy, everybody's all serious right now. This is a light podcast.
It's been a long week. We're all a little tight.
You're trying to divorce me over here. He's all tight over a bell. My goodness.
It's been a long week. We're all a little tight. It's okay. It's all
We're living in a crazy world these days.
good.
I can't wait till tomorrow.
Anyway.
Somebody likes to push the limits with the amount of lots that he puts into a sale, which you can't deny. Neither of you can deny that.
Nope.
No, I can't deny that.
And I am not of the mindset that more is better.
Yes. I'm not necessarily either.
It's his fear of missing out.
Yeah, he has major.
Is it the
Janet and I have
FOMO?
talked about
Is it
his
the FOMO?
FOMO for years.
Yes, I have FOMO.
Janet and I have been talking about his FOMO for years.
I do not have FOMO. Yes, I do. That I won't deny. I do have that, you know.
He does. Even if a house call looks terrible, he's like, but maybe they might have something. Whereas I would have been like, nope, sorry, can't come out.
I see you later.
Yeah, no, I have the fear of missing out. There's no question about it. Well, especially with the way we operate these days with photographs and stuff like that, I'm always like trying to think, is there something else in there that I'm missing?
I don't disagree.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree that people call us about certain things and they probably have something else in their house that is like fantastic that they think is junk.
Right.
You know? So I'll 100% agree with that we need to get back into people's homes on house calls.
Right.
Or at least you do. And then I can run the building.
That's fine. And you can have control of the music.
Bet.
And you could all be dancing in the spotlight.
I like it.
You know, maybe I'll put the light. I'll buy more disco lights and put a disco ball in the middle.
I think like a 2-minute dance break randomly, like just pre-planned into the day. Like as we're working, like all of a sudden the lights go
Good for
dim and there's
morale.
like, great for morale.
Right.
There you go.
It can
That or
happen.
the Krispy Kreme donuts that Tracy has back there.
Honestly, I'm not a dancer, so I'm not going to dance back there. I'll slow dance with you. That's about it. You know.
The long auctions will continue until morale increases.
Going back to the question, how long is it going to take? I don't know. I think we'll be done by 6 o'clock that night. That's what I think. I think it's a 5:30, 6 o'clock. It really depends. When it comes to bidding online, it depends how many people are participating
Right.
and
How
how many
long it
bids are
takes.
coming in. And if they're waiting for me saying going twice, because when I say last call and they come back in, I'm about to jinx myself. I was about to say that hasn't happened in quite some time.
Don't say it out loud. Just say it out loud.
Where you have the slow pokers.
Or the people who accidentally bid.
Or
you
the
have
people
the
who
accidentally
refuse to leave
bids.
absentee bids, so we have to start at $10 and then it ends up selling at like $2,000.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
Aren't those fun?
Yeah, that all slows down the
Forever.
process.
It does
Yes,
slow
it
down the
does.
process. But it's good. Listen, in a live auction setting, stuff like that was fun.
Right.
That's different
So
though.
much fun.
You know,
That's different.
No, but it's just we've been talking a lot about live auctions and missing certain aspects of things and the human factor to it all.
It was
you know,
a social event.
it was a social event. you know,
And you know the energy's high. There's a pulse in the air. You know,
there is a pulse to it. Like you could go the entire auction day and not be tired. Like you just weren't tired, and then all of a sudden the auction would end, and you were like,
Pass out.
Right.
"You're done. You're done." Like there'd be
The
times where
longest days.
Janet would try to talk to me at the end of the day, and I'm like, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like I don't know what's happening.
Right,
I'm done.
right.
I'm spent. I've given it all. It's all left behind. You know, right?
Yeah, but those were all feats. Running long auctions.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's success. It's a successful event.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
miss catching up with people, and you know.
So we'll go live in another year.
Dead ass.
I don't know. Maybe we'll do one in a year. Who knows?
We tried looking for a place.
Yeah, we did try looking for a place.
Hiccup. That's the real hiccup. We tried. We talked to those people. They were not willing to play on the price of the space.
Yeah.
But like, bro, half your windows are boarded up, and you're still trying to charge $25 a square foot. I don't think so.
I think eventually we'll
It's the
find
times.
a place. You know,
Like-
I think that's long term. Maybe there again, if the right place shows up and presents itself, I'm in. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not looking. I'm against it. If the right place, if the right landlord came up and said, hey, listen, you want to take this over for 5 years at a real cheap price, I'd be like, hell yeah, we're in.
Then we'd have to buy all new
Why not?
supplies again.
Oh my god.
What would we do, Janet?
Oh no.
Yeah, I'd
More
buy these.
showcases.
Janet and I would have to, and then what we failed to mention was the locks. It was too annoying to lock them, and not that we knew where half the keys were anyway, nor did we really
Right.
ever have them.
Yeah, no, they were never locked.
Janet and I would run around and use the gaffer tape and tape the cases shut so people couldn't open
Oh yeah.
them
Oh.
without
We would throw you
asking.
out if
I
you
know
opened
my
the
way
case. I
around a
forgot
roll of
about that.
gas.
Yeah, we used to tape them all
Remember
up.
that?
Remember
Take
that?
those cases shut.
I forgot about that.
Taping them shut.
God, gaff
They were
tape,
bad.
cable
Yeah.
path.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yep. Oh God. Do you know how many rolls of that stuff I would lay every auction?
Every auction,
Yeah.
there was a
Well,
shitload.
now they have a really cool mechanism. I saw
that. Yes.
where it's like it just hooks up and it's like you can just hold it and lay it right
yeah,
over.
and you stand
Oh,
with it.
But granted, how often are those cables really laid so nicely?
Never.
Never.
So, but in a perfect world, once I did like lay them all out, and it just looks so nice.
Well,
and
you know what I
simple.
used to do is because I would run all the computers, the security cameras, you know, all that kind of stuff. So what I would do, and especially with the security cameras, because some of those wires were like 200 feet long, you know, because I have to go from one side of the expo center to the other on the same wire. So I would start it, pull it tight, tape them on both ends, and then just right down the middle. So I like this. But sure, now they come up with a device. Now that I don't have to roll 200
Same.
feet of
No, I
gaffer
have that.
tape.
Same, literally on my hands and knees in the theater. Just
Yep. Erica's first day. Do you remember? Erica
Yes.
always complains her first day. She came in, she didn't know what to expect. She's in jeans, she's in boots, she's looking all cute. And I'm like, yeah, we're about to lay this 40 by 70 red carpet on the floor.
Yeah, that's what we did. Red carpet.
On the expo center floor, which gets just as dirty. Remember how dirty
Yes.
that would get?
Very dirty.
Yeah, poor Erica. She was filthy by the time she left that.
Right.
She learned very quickly.
it's a dirty job.
That's a dirty job.
But somebody's got
Someone's
to do
gotta
it.
do it.
Indeed.
There you have it. Well, it's been 1 hour. I've been
Already.
abused and abused and abused this
And he's
hour.
loving every moment of it.
I'm gonna
Yes.
have to go. I'm gonna have to go lip her upstairs into my bed and cry in a ball because it was such a rough one. But at any rate, if you have something, would you like to? Yes. Would you like to describe the thing?
I would, but that okay. Yep. Gotta leave that one alone.
Today's a great day, guys.
Today's a great day. We're a little
Oh,
tight.
see,
Can you tell?
I was about to get hit again.
We're a little tight.
Hit
today.
again. Oh my God. Just don't hit me again.
Anyway. go ahead.
Anyway, if you have an auction story you want to tell, email us at bodnarsbizandbanterpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us everywhere you listen to podcasts, Instagram, Facebook, all the things.
And hopefully it's something positive about me, Mr. Bodnar, so that would be good.
He's a wonderful man.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're a real
Something
swell.
Positive.
He's a swell guy.
Well,
Something
there you have it.
positive, but not you.
Oh, yes.
Yes, congratulations to
Congratulations.
Danny.
Congratulations.
Thank you, y'all.
Congratulations,
Congratulations,
Danny.
sir. We appreciate
Thank you.
what you did last week.
Thank you. We're gonna keep it ambiguous, but
Yeah.
it was a great move for the future, and growth brings crazy new things.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yes, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Make sure you like us on all the different platforms. Thank you for joining us, and have yourselves a wonderful day. And once again, my name is Joe.
Maureen.
Danny.
Janet.
Have a wonderful day. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching Bodnars Bid and Banter. Remember, we're here every other week with new episodes, new stories, and wonderful, wonderful times. Make sure you check us out, bodnarsauction.com, YouTube, Facebook, all the different platforms where you watch this podcast or listen to this podcast now. Now, once again, thanks, and have a wonderful day.